We just wrapped another great trip around California Adventure. Let's talk about the backlot. Let's talk about Grizzly Peak and the pretty chill crowds. We're going to every land. We're going to every attraction. This is our State of DCA report. Once more, excited to be here at any Disney park. I was going to say here at DCA to do one of my most favorite things ever in the world, and that is to do State of reports, either at DCA or Disneyland. But I'm just glad to be in any park. It has been since the last State of Disneyland report, since I've done like a proper park visit. I could not visit a Disney park all of last week, Monday through Friday. Skipped the whole thing. Well, actually, I did get Friday, but that was just for Season of the Force, so hardly counts. I was in all of 2 lands that whole day. But I haven't had a chance to experience the parks in any kind of way going on 10 days now, which, by the way, is a very long time for me. I don't normally go more than 2 or 3 days at a time. So I am feeling good. I am feeling optimistic. I am feeling glad to be here walking down Buena Vista Street, pardon me. And as we do, we're doing this a bit late also. It's a Monday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're off schedule a little bit, which is why you didn't get to see a construction report until Tuesday. Anyway, we're going to get straightened out, and we're going to do that by starting with a walk down Buena Vista Street. As this camera's gotten all wonky on me already, let's vibe check DCA right now. And that early vibe that I have picked up since I arrived here about a half an hour ago is that it's a pretty busy day. Another busy Monday here at the Disneyland Resort. Not busy enough, though, for Disney, apparently, because they are still advertising. They are still advertising the upgrade to. Hi, guys. How are you? They still want us to upgrade our single-day tickets to Magic Key. There's a sign out there at Buena Vista Street, or just before you enter that. So they're still actively selling Magic Keys. That's still a top priority for them. They're still in the Magic Key business, which makes me very happy because I am a fan of Magic Keys. I'm a fan of the Magic Key lifestyle. But I don't mind adding that Magic Key lifestyle, annual pass lifestyle, isn't complete until the reservation system is gone. They're still not going to sell as many annual passes as they want until they fix that. I'm not holding my breath, though. I'm not going to. Let me also acknowledge that it is a beautiful day out here today right now. It's 70 degrees, but it feels super toasty. It feels like it's 80 out here, but it is still just 70. It's the kind of spring day that you talk about when you're thinking, gosh, it sure is pretty at Disneyland in the spring. It is just about perfect, which may help with the crowds as we walk down Hollywood Boulevard on our way to the backlot, where I want to have a quick conversation. Avatar has been back in the news because Iger teased it at the annual shareholders meeting, and the speculation since then has again been, where are they going to put it? And as we walk through the backlot now, I will remind folks that I have had initially discounted the idea that the backlot could ever be a home for Avatar for a number of reasons, both a year ago when this story first broke, and then again in the last video that we put out. But I've been speaking with a friend quite a bit about this, who thinks that it's going right here in the backlot. And I've dismissed it, and I'm still not, sold on that. But the more he talks to me about it, the more I'm like, maybe there's a chance. Mostly because, the reason why I think it's going to Disneyland Forward is because that's pretty much what Josh D'Amaro said in his statement on the Disney Parks blog, that they're waiting for Disneyland Forward to get approved before they can start moving forward on projects like the Avatar experience. I make the connection. However, part of the approval of Disneyland Forward is the approval of the Eastern Gateway. They can't do the Disneyland Forward project at all unless they're able to build the Eastern Gateway, the new parking structure that they tried to build 7 or 8 years ago over on the other side of Harbor Boulevard. Part of that process, part of that plan, is to extend the boundary of Hollywoodland, of Hollywood Backlot, out into where the Toy Story buses and the art buses pick up and drop off guests. All that would get moved across the street to the harbor, to the new Harbor Eastern Gateway lot. And that lot that they're talking about expanding into is just on the other side of these buildings right here. Just over that is the drop-off for Toy Story and art. Those trees that you see above the skyline there, or above those buildings, are the trees at that drop-off. Likewise, the other side of this building right here is right about where bag check is. If you were to hop this fence and go straight through there, you'd be about where bag check is. So without getting into too much detail and getting into a long-winded conversation about that, which is still something I may do in another news video on Fresh Bake Presents, one of the main reasons why I don't like Hollywood Backlot here is that there's not enough space. It's too small for anything remotely good. It's smaller than the current Pandora is by a lot, and then but then if you add that additional space out there in the bus drop-off, then you might have something. Still not a fan of how they would just drop it right here in between Avengers Campus and Point of Business Street. Thematically, it makes little sense, but another thing that friend mentioned is the idea of the portal. Just like how they have the portal set up at Galaxy's Edge, which you can close off the whole land and then create one point of entry there where everything else is hidden. Just like they have the portals at Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood, just like the portals they're building at Epic Universe, you are able to close off those areas so that you can't see that you're walking into Avatar from Buena Vista Street. That sounds encouraging. So I'm going to look into this. I'm going to put some more thought into that, but I wanted to sort of mention that here at the outset, that the story's not set as far as I'm concerned about where this is going. My money's still on Disneyland Forward, but there is a conversation, there is a possibility that it could be here at the Backlot. When we get to other parts of this park, we'll talk about where it's not going, for sure. As for normal operations around the park, it looks like we can't do a queue check. On Mike and Sully to the rescue, the attraction appears to be closed. It says 45 on the tip board, though, on the posted wait sign. It did say 45 minutes, but the attraction is closed, so we'll just keep moving. Oh, look at that. There are actually guests waiting in the standby and in the Lightning Lane queue while the attraction is closed. That's kind of shocking to me. If I was Lightning Lane, I would get the heck out of there. I wouldn't waste a single minute waiting for that ride to reopen if I were Lightning Lane. Standby, if you're in the front, I guess you're kind of committed and hoping it comes back quickly. That's the kind of attraction that doesn't take very long to reset, so there could be hope for those folks. But I'm surprised to see anybody standing by waiting for Monsters, Inc. to reopen after a ride closure. That's different. No news to report on the Hyperion Theater. It is still Hooray for Hollywood on the marquee. Though they still have the stanchions and chains up out here in the queue area for Hyperion. This was done supposedly to prepare for an award ceremony that they were having here at the theater, but that was 4 weeks ago maybe? So they haven't taken those down. Can we go ahead and just use that as a clue? Is that a clue that there's, why take those chains down if they're going to put them back up again type situation? Unless maybe they have a plan for Pixar Fest. That's coming up at the end of the month. We'll stand by because they do have a bunch of signage out here for Pixar Fest. And there's supposed to be food booths, kiosk, a la Food and Wine. I wonder if I should be doing a getting ready for Pixar Fest video. It seems like there's a lot going on, a lot more certainly than there was in Season of the Force, which was kind of a mess show if you ask me. A couple new foods, and take care. A little bit of merch. That's it. Set next to Mission Breakout to see where we stand on this day so far. Things appear to be about in the 60 to 70% range as far as busy goes. Not slow, not busy, busy-ish. And Mission Breakout at the moment is posted at 45 minutes. And there is nobody in this part of the Lightning Lane queue. Nobody in the rear queue or the inside queue either. Well, there's a few guests right there. That's promising. I like the looks of that, but I don't like the looks of this queue poking out here into the exit space of the attraction. But I mean, if Lightning Lane stays empty, then this will be no problem. But typically, you don't like to see the queue out here if you can help it. So not a lot to learn here from Mission Breakout at this point. Usually, this is sort of a junction, a point of drama in our show. Always trying to figure out how this is going to go. But 45 minutes looks to be about pretty right on the number. I would say, like I said, given nothing changes here, 45 minutes, that's a good look. Which, by the way, that's a go for me. 45 minutes with no Lightning Lane is a go for me. We're going to Avengers Campus next. Why do bubbles make everything better? I love bubbles in the parks all over the place. They look good through the lens too. There's Iron Man right over there. Hey, did you guys hear? I saw only a headline. I haven't even had a chance to read the article yet. But it sounds like Robert Downey Jr. I have a hard time believing this. It sounds like Robert Downey Jr. said that he's game to come back to being Iron Man, which I don't know, man. I don't know how that works. A, he kind of didn't make it out of Avengers Endgame. He did not survive. 2, he's 60 years old now, and it's not like they can do a prequel. Unless you do the old de-aging thing, which is very expensive, like they did with Indiana Jones. That movie cost $300 million, and like half of that was spent making Indiana Jones look like he was 30. So I don't know. I feel like he was just being positive or optimistic, but I don't see how they do that, to be honest. But they are grasping at straws. Marvel is grasping at straws. They need to take a time out, just like they have been taking a time out with Star Wars. Marvel needs to take a time out, let people reset a little bit. Let's take this show next to Web Slingers just down the way. And once more, this looks remarkably like how I just described both Mission Breakout and the rest of DCA as we visit so far. Posted at 35 minutes. Busy, but not totally busy. Busy-ish, not slow. The queue on the right is completely empty, but that could also be because they have extended the queue back into the bullpen back there, which I can see a few guests back there. Doesn't look like they're using all of it. But 35 minutes, I see movement. I like that. Movement is good here. Not a lot going on over here either in Lightning Lane. Just like Mission Breakout, these are the only 2 guests entering the queue at this point. It's just wild and impossibly difficult to predict the true nature of things at the Disney parks on any given time, any given day, week, month, or what have you. People often ask best time to go, best time, time of the week, time of the month, time of the year, time of day. Because this is remarkably less busy than 2 weeks ago, and even more so than 2 weeks before that. I guess the going theory would be spring break and food and wine. Food and wine's still going on. Spring break, I mean, there is not just a single week for that. That goes on for, at different times of the month for depending on what school district you're in. So I'm not sure how easy it is to say that. It's fascinating. It's really, really fascinating.
Hey, what's up, everyone? We live down there. I love this view. Okay, it's time to see what this suit can do.
really surprised that that show is still a thing here at Avengers Campus. I thought it was the kind of show that would eventually just kind of go away. That they would only do that, the first year or so to keep up the excitement, and the budget would cause it to be taken out. But that and the Avengers headquarters show is still happening, and it's still the same-ish show that they started with, years ago. When it first started. I'm kind of surprised about that as well. Way to go, Spider-Man. And we are now on Route 66 in Carsland, Radiator Springs. Can't wait to see what Mater's is looking like. Streets look busy. Oh, look at that. Mater's is looking busy-ish. For Mater's anyway, 20-minute posted standby. And yeah, the queue's getting back there a little bit. There we go. Now we're talking. I mean, the fact that I'm surprised that Mater's is at 20 minutes, I'm surprised it's that high. Again, I don't quite understand how that's possible. It's not exactly like it's a quick load or anything like that. It's not a high capacity attraction. I guess the other ones are just slow, i.e. Luigi's, or incredibly most popular attraction in the history of ever, i.e. Radiator Springs Racers. Wow, look at. Okay, so this is a little bit surprising. I'm walking down Route 66 and it feels light. It feels not at all tense. Wow. I would be willing to bet that Radiator Springs Racers is no more than an hour. That would be my guess. And we'll go look at that in a second, but first we're going to go check out Luigi's Rollickin Roadsters. Posted at 20 minutes. That's more like it. That's what I like to see, is nobody in here. This queue does not get enough love, though. Very cute, very well done queue. I wouldn't mind spending a little bit of time in here if I had to, especially in the next room. I'm just gonna go try to find out how far we can get before we get stopped and see how real that 20 minutes is. We got in the queue at about 4:15. Oh my gosh. What's happening? What's happening? When's the last time we were able to do that? 4:15, we got in the queue. It's 4:16 now. And there's not a lot happening here. Why not, right? You know it's not very busy when I go ahead and get on an attraction while filming a State of DCA report, or any kind of State of report. There used to be this thing where if you pick the right car, two cars would go head to head against each other and then go about their separate ways again. And we even had a hack on how to try to figure that out. But I don't feel like they do. I don't think they do that anymore. It's a different dance. Ciao, Bella. By the way, 13 minutes all in to get to our ride vehicle. And I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be much different than the posted 20. It is less than. But that's one of those queues that you can easily do the math on. It takes about 5 minutes for them to rotate each, turn, each cycle. And, depending on how many cars there are, you do the math. You do, like, let's just say there's 15 cars. That's 30 guests. It would take 10 minutes to cycle 60 guests. Count the guests in the queue if you can. and you got yourself an estimate. But anyway, 12 minutes, about what I expected. Let's go to Radiator Springs. I called 60. I didn't think it would be over 60 minutes at standby, considering how light crowds have been so far today, relatively speaking. And I could not have been more wrong. Wow, that's shocking. 95 minutes, you guys. I was gonna ask where the guests are because they're not in standby, but I found them. They're right here. That's Lightning Lane right there. I don't know how far in the standby queue goes, but I do see some folks turning around. They're making U-turns up there. 95 minutes. That's very surprising to me today, considering the rest of the park. But then it's kind of pointless trying to, again, predict Radiator Springs. Very difficult attraction to predict. The same way Rise of the Resistance. Matter of fact, it's more difficult than Rise of the Resistance is to predict. It just, I mean, who knows? Who really knows? And it's the kind of attraction that no matter how slow the park is, it's going to be a place that's going to draw guests. So I was foolish to think that there was any chance that there might be a reasonable wait time. It's always busy at Radiator Springs Racers. Wow, look at Flo's. Flo's is popping. It is, well, you know what? It's almost dinner time. It's early dinner time. It's 4:45. So that would be a reasonable time for crowds to start pecking up at Flo's V8 Cafe as well. But let's get this party re-engaged as we head into San Fransokyo Square. And already I could feel fewer people in this space than usual. Once more, keeping up with that storyline. It is definitely just busy-ish. My early estimations were talking about like maybe 70% crazy, but I might have to lower that to 60% crazy. Not 60% occupied. That's different. We are probably closer to 80% occupied, I would guess. But look at that queue though for Casina. Ay, ay, ay. Get mobile order, everybody. Please, please, please. But I'm seeing a lot of empty chairs here. A lot of tables and places to sit. Shockingly. You know, I do have no reason to come to San Fransokyo every time we do a State of DCA report. I have no reason to come here. There's nothing to report on. There's no attractions, no news. But I love to do it anyway because I love this bridge. Every excuse I can find. Way better than the old Pacific Wharf Bridge. And that means also that it's time to check out the tip board. Let's head to Paradise Bay. I don't even have to look at the tip board yet to know that Incredicoaster is closed. Incredicoaster is closed. Golden Zephyr is closed. And it looks like there's a crane behind the Incredicoaster. We may have to investigate that. I can't figure out where that crane is supposed to be. That could be part of the Incredicoaster. Oh, that's right, the Incredicoaster is closed. It's down for maintenance. But let's get into this tip board. Golden Zephyr, temporarily closed. Scoopy Sky School is 50 minutes with a return time in 1 hour. That's pretty standard for Goopy Sky School for a busy day. Grizzly River Run. Once again, I'm surprised at how not busy. It's warm out. It's 72 degrees out right now. Warming up for Grizzly River Run, but 10 minutes in return time of now. Mission Breakout has gone up from 45 to 50 with a return time in 1 hour and a half. That's pretty light. The return time is for Mission Breakout. Emotional Whirlwind 15. Jesse's is a walk-in as always, as is Jumpin' Jellyfish-ish. 25 minutes for Ariel's Undersea Adventure. That's unfortunate. Luigi's is 20. We got it done in 12. Mater's is 20. We did not ride that one. Monsters Inc. is back open with a return time of 55 minutes. I'm sorry, with a standby of 55 and return time of 1 hour. This is just, it's all or nothing, man, which is typical for DCA. You get a lot of long lines and then some really short ones. Pixar Pal Around, which I'm looking at right now, which I was hoping to ride later today, but I don't know if I'm gonna have a chance. It's 45 minutes. It's 5:35 as I record this. We've got about 2 hours left of daylight, so. Radiator Springs Racers is down to 65 with a return time of now. So Symphony Springs is just 5 minutes. 5, really? Wow, that's pretty shocking. So what the heck? I need somebody to explain that to me. You know what that's gotta be. Soarin' is 120 minutes. Return time in 2.5 hours, which is not that bad considering. So why is standby 120 minutes? My best guess is that they're down a screen. That's my best guess, is they're down a screen. Toy Story, 40 minutes, just 40 minutes. And return time in 2.5 hours. We'll walk by that in a little bit. Web Slingers is 30. It was at 35 when we walked by. And there you go. That's it. Just like our day so far leading up to this point, as I record this 5:40 p.m. on a Monday afternoon, kind of uneventful. It's not a lot to report, neither good nor bad. It's just sort of here. It's not newsworthy at all. You guys see it? Where is that crane? Is that on the Disney side of Catella or the Anaheim Convention Center side of Catella? Still beautiful. Walking through here. I think, you know what, I want to find out. We can get back there by Nom Nom Cookies at least. Maybe we can get a better look at what's happening here. I may have to invest on a trip Pal Around. But again, time is an issue, so we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I shouldn't have gone on Luigi's in retrospect. But we're here at Incredicoaster. We can kind of check in here a little bit. Room enough for Mr. Incredible to hang around and meet some guests. Yeah, that's on our side, I think. It's certainly not on the Anaheim Convention Center side. What it's doing, it's kind of perched over Incredicoaster right now, so that is for this attraction. What are they up to in here? I'm so intrigued. I am so intrigued. Things that intrigue me. Dirt and cranes. Fascinating. Light, you guys. This does not feel like much at all right here. It's 5:47 in the late afternoon, and I just feel like things are dwindling down a little bit even. We just saw the tip board that Toy Story was 40 minutes. Oh. But I think I would have to question that time estimate. The queue out here is pretty lengthy. They're also using the interior queue. That's not great. And there is a lightning lane queue forming here. How they have any chance of getting all of these people in the next 40 minutes is questionable. This is a no-go for me. That 40 minutes is actually probably attracting more guests into the standby. That's my guess. I don't like this at all. Nope. Well, the wait time has gone down to 30 minutes per the board, but there's the back of the queue right here. Not anywhere near where I like it to be. So the board is saying that it's 30 minutes now. Since we were over here across the way, we saw that it was 45. Board now says 30.
Is he on the right way?
But I'm in the back of the queue right here. Around that corner and around that corner and up the ramp. Not really where I'd like it to be. I like being at that corner down there, but you know, I guess we can want things and like things and maybe not get them. But I'm gonna time this. We're gonna do this today and see how long my estimations actually are, or how correct they are. In this queue at 5:51, first landmark will be the first corner. We're gonna time it to each corner. See how long that takes. We've reached the first corner at 5:56. Took us 5 minutes, about half the ramp, maybe 2/3 of the ramp. So I was thinking the whole ramp would probably be closer to 8 minutes or so, and then I'm gonna guess 4 minutes to get to the next corner. Well, that was 2 minutes to get to the second corner. 5:58, we're 7 minutes total. 6:05, 14 minutes to the third corner. $6:14. What is that? 23 minutes now to the final corner. We've just got a little stretch here. The straightaway, as it were. I'm guessing another 5 minutes there. So, incredibly, from car to the top of that near top of the ramp up there is 30 minutes. I would not have predicted that, although I haven't done an extensive amount of recon on this attraction. Visually, it doesn't look like that, but the one thing that a ride like this has going for it, something we mentioned in the past, is that there's no lightning lane. So it's very predictable, very steady. Vehicles come in at the same pace, go out at the same pace, so you can count on that 30 minutes pretty much, unless there's a breakdown. There we go, 30 minutes later. That's our boat. Okay, that's not our boat. That's our boat. So we'll put that one in the books. A pretty good rep for Pixar Pal Around. We're gonna mark that corner right there at 25 minutes. It'll take you 25 minutes from there and about 20 minutes from that corner up there. That's not bad. That makes this attraction much more appealing to me. I don't know what data I was remembering or what experiences I've had in the past that made me think that, you know, it was a 45-minute wait. Which, by the way, they're still calling it 30 on the wait time board, but I don't know where I got that. But that was just a general rule that I had in my head. But I have to correct that now. I don't mind that so much. I'll do 20 minutes or 25 minutes at that one corner and 30 from the ramp. That's not bad because I'm sick and I have to know. I came back to Toy Story Midway Mania to check in on this queue. It was 45, and I said that was definitely a no-go for me. It looks about the same as it did when we left it. Lighting lane's not quite as bad. Oh, there you go. When you see a queue time that is too good to be true, seemingly, in 45 minutes for Toy Story Mania, while not too good, it's pretty good. You just know that there's got to be something up. I mean, it's still a reasonably busy enough day where that should not have been 45 minutes. And it'll adjust again. And there'll come a point where it'll go back down to 45. Right now, actually, that could be happening because the lightning lane was pretty empty. Guys, look at the emotional whirlwind queue. It's posted at 30 minutes. But this, incredibly, we're not that busy today, right? We've been noticing short waits around the park. This is double what we're accustomed to at Emotional Whirlwind. Most reports we do, it's just that top part they got this whole queue filled up back here. They're back there in the Wander Idea the Forest. Wait, what? Wander the Forest, Wander Idea the Forest. I don't know what that says. They're way back there, you guys. That's incredible. You know, I wish they had a better ride for this attraction, for this IP, because the theming is wonderful. The theming is great. They did a pretty good job of theming this attraction as well as they could have, but the ride, the ride is lame. I mean, I guess I shouldn't. I'm not 4 years old. My daughter loves it. It's lame for me. What am I talking about? I love Astro Orbiter. I'm gonna shut up. Let's look at some silly Symphony swings. It was 5 minutes when we looked at the step board, and that is still the case on the board here, and I'm not seeing anybody on the stairs or downstairs. So everybody that's supposed to be in the silly Symphony swings right now is over in the Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind queue, I guess. I want to talk about things I love as we make our way towards Goofy Sky School. Things I love doing State of DCA reports and State of Disneyland reports. I love doing these, and it makes me so happy that my love and passion has found an audience with you guys. This series is becoming probably our most popular series of videos, and it makes me so happy that there are folks of like mind who are interested in this kind of thing. I don't know why I feel compelled to talk about that right now, just that it makes me so happy. I just want you guys to know that. I'm a happy guy. I mean, I am generally. I'm a pretty happy guy, and I want everybody else to be happy, but the fact that there are, you know, people watching these kind of shows who give a rip about Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind queue time just fills me up. Thank you guys. I'm glad you're watching. I'm glad you guys are picking up what we're putting down here. Let's go pick up Goofy Sky School. And Goofy's is definitely still no bargain. It was posted 45 just a minute ago, but now it says 50 as I look at it. And we got a very healthy lightning lane. That's everything you're looking at here to my left is lightning lane. Standby. There's that. Plus that, they're out here in the garden, in the yard. Not all of it, but about half of it. Not enjoyable. This is not ideal. I've never actually waited in this queue before. I'm gonna have to do that one of these days. I see this and I'm just like, no thank you very much. I'm good. And mind you, I love the Goofy Sky School. It's great. One of my favorite rides. It's just pure thrill. It scares the crap out of me. Love it. Looks like jumping jellyfish across the street is a walk-on. I don't even see a queue. There's nobody in there. We could get in there right now, I think, if I were so inclined. Look at that. That's it right there. And they're running both sides. That helps. That's probably why they're able to do that so easily. And that's a big deal because it is often the case that one of the jellyfish sides is broken. It's down. It is often the case where you have just the one side running. Well, there's a decent crowd. This is all food and wine guests, though, I guess. Right here. Crossing by Little Mermaid. I'm seeing Standby. Of 5 minutes. There's nobody in Lightning Lane at all. They're taking down the ropes. There's nobody here. Total walk-on at Little Mermaid. But Goofy Sky School's an hour. I just, you know what I mean? Like, it's what we were saying. We were looking at the tip board. That's so DCA. It's either super high or super low. It is not often that you get a sort of middle of the road day. And I thought we were getting that for a minute today. You know, when we saw Mission Breakout and web slingers, they kind of look like middle of the road. But I feel like things are ebbing towards that high and low type scenario today. And a lot of people here enjoying food and wine, which is great. I think that's great. Good for food and wine. Love these events. Winding things down a bit as we head into Grizzly Peak. There's some news here in Redwood Creek. They put in scaffolding on that whole, I don't know what you call it, you know, the play area with the rope bridges and etc. There's scaffolding up there. And if you watched our construction report yesterday, you may have observed that that is a sign for me. We talked earlier about how I was kind of coming around a little bit on the idea of the backlot. I'm not crossing the Hollywood Backlot off my list of possible destinations for Avatar, the Avatar experience for Pandora. I'm crossing this one off. For the same logic that it's not going in Tomorrowland because of the updates that they're doing to Autopia proposed. We'll have to wait and see, I guess, to make sure that that's a real thing that's happening. But it has always been my belief that they haven't put any money into the backlot because they weren't sure what they were going to do. You know, with that space, we all know it needs an update, the backlot does. So why do anything there until they have a plan for the entire space, a good plan, a big plan? Into Redwood Creek, why would they put money into updating this attraction if they had plans for it in the near future? I don't know what near future is. I mean, it could be 10 years before we get Avatar, so maybe that's not near future. Maybe it's still time enough to do updates. But for now, I would say that the fact that they're scaffolding up in that attraction suggests to me that we're crossing that one off the list. In spite of the fact that I don't think it's going to the backlot. I kind of want it to, because I hate the backlot. And I've just been waiting. We've been waiting for so long for them to do something with that space. Maybe this could be, I would be okay if they did. I'd be okay, because that means it's something, right? Hey, all right. And it's a good plan. It's not a crappy reskin of the space. It's something that would be interesting and that I would like. It's finally like a high-powered, supercharged, turbocharged plan for the backlot. Likewise, I don't want it to be here at Redwood Creek, at Grizzly Peak, because I feel like it should be the whole land if they're doing it. I don't think it should be here at Grizzly Peak, because Grizzly Peak is wonderful. It's beautiful. I love it here at Grizzly Peak, and I don't want this to go away. I mean, it would probably be a decent trade, like a 50-50 situation. But I'd rather have both. I would rather have this here and Avatar at the backlot than Avatar here and still have a bunch of crap at the backlot. And I don't think that anybody could argue with that scenario if you were given a choice. If you're given a choice of Avatar here and crap at the backlot, or Avatar at the backlot and Redwood Creek here, or Grizzly Peak, 9 out of 10 are taking that, I think. And as we approach Condor Flats and we make our way in here, I'm reminded that we saw a 120-minute standby wait time. Hi guys! For Soarin', and I just have to wonder, like, how bad do you want to go on Soarin' that you get in a 2-hour queue? I just can't imagine. I just can't. There's no way I would do 2 hours for Soarin'. And I don't feel like I'm a queue snob, right? There are people say they won't get anything that's over 30 minutes. I don't mind waiting. I can wait for a couple attractions, but I'm not waiting 2 hours for Soarin'. Luckily, for those guests that we just saw in that standby queue, there is not much of a lightning lane. Actually, this just developed right here. A minute ago, there was nobody here, so I may have to change that. So it's not so bad. It's probably getting better. As the evening wears on, this is often what happens. Standby right now is now at 50 minutes, and that's almost, that wait is almost all due to standby and not due to lightning lane, because that queue is, as you recall, was going all the way around that building. Not cool. Heck, I've waited 30 minutes just in this little section right here alone, all by itself. That's it, guys. The sun is going down both here at DCA and on this report. We got here just in time. I didn't think I was going to get here all the way to sundown, but here we are. It's almost 7. Well, what time is it? We're wrapping this up at 7:14. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's been a delightful afternoon here at California Adventure. Every 2 weeks, I get more and more in love with this park, and today was no different. Some adventures for sure, some surprising results here and there, but all in all, a very chill, very enjoyable afternoon at DCA. It was great. I had a great time. I hope you guys did too. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. And if you did enjoy and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/freshbaked. Or you can follow us on Instagram at _freshbaked, on Twitter at freshbakedisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at freshbakedisney. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.